Welcome back, nerds. Today we're painting everyone's favorite one-man legal system. That's right, the Demolition Man. Oh, well, whatever. Who's ready to just get started? I see, the usual. In accordance with the scriptures, Chris will prime all the parts black to prepare them for an almost satisfactory paint job. He's using Chaos Black, but there's literally hundreds of equally suitable alternatives. With that out of the way, he will base coat the entire uniform with this dark Prussian blue. This must be diluted. Failure to do so will weaken the barrier that prevents the void from consuming all of reality. 3 parts thinner to 1 part paint is the appropriate ratio needed to fortify the barrier, protecting our earthly realm. Apply this mixture to all the parts of the uniform you wish to be blue, for only after these parts have been properly sanctified will it be safe to move on. Let's paint some
gold!
And there's a lot of options here, all of which will certainly disappoint you. Chris tries a different approach every time, hoping for one that actually looks like
gold!
In today's episode of Just Learn to Electroplate, he will start with a reddish base, in a vain hope that it will produce some sort of improved result. If you know of some magical gold formula that Chris should try, then while you're down there liking and subscribing, you should leave a comment explaining to this idiot the optimal process in detail. Thanks. Now, Chris will desperately apply some highly diluted brassy brass and hope for the best. He's applying this all over the parts to act as a darker in-shadow
gold.
Then finally, from the top down, we'll apply the primary gold. Well, he doesn't like it. So he applied a gloss varnish, which makes it look like gold-colored plastic, which is fine if you're a member of the Kaleido Painters Guild, which Chris is not. Being willing to try anything with a stupid name, he has acquired Ultra Shining Fluid Gold Foil. It's from a brand you can trust. Jayvee. Nope, not even gonna attempt that one. First, let's just open the what the hell is that? Ah, I see. This product is made for the acolytes of Michael for use in their arcane decoupage rituals. No matter, we can clumsily circumvent this integrated brush cap applicator thing, then load it into the airbrush and hope for the best. And well, wow. Let that be a lesson to you all. Sometimes, potentially poisonous, misspelled products from companies with unpronounceable names might actually work. With the gold armor adequately goldified, we can move back to dry brushing the uniform. With this, hold on, this says dark, blue, pale, and I have no idea what that means. And people like Chris will sound like even bigger morons than they actually are if they go asking a clerk for something like this. Look, paint namers of the world, I'd like to have a word. Please stop what you're doing. You would have us believe this is pale black and that this is dark white. This is madness, and you know it. I'm so angry that I can barely explain how Chris is lightly dry brushing this dark, pale blue across all the edges and folds of John Spartan's uniform. You're all cowards and should be ashamed of yourselves. I don't know how bitch-ass Glenn got to you all and made you do this, but I'm so disgusted I nearly forgot to mention that since the contrast is so significant, you'll want to use an even drier brush than usual to achieve the subtle highlights we're looking for. Y'all ready to paint some face? Well, that's too bad. We're doing it anyway. And Warlord Purple means Chris will be taking his typical low-effort approach. He's just covering this little slice of exposed face while rejoicing in the fact that there's no eyes to paint today. Oh, I guess there are some eyes on this little robot man the law is holding.
I am the law.
Mr. Dredd, let's come back inside, all right?
Now with pink, Chris is going to paint over the purple from the top down to preserve the purple in areas that would be in shadow, like the undersides of his nose, chin, under the helmet, and palms of his hands. Then, with some highly diluted blackout brown, he will lightly cover the entire surface of the skin, being careful to leave traces of that pink and purple. He will then apply the same process to the hand, being mindful to get the palm, so we aren't stuck with that purple palm thing we've all done in the past. For the middle value, Chris will use Resurrection Flesh, applying this mostly from the top down. Just like the other skin tones, this should be highly diluted, so you can build it up slowly. Then for the highlight, Chris will apply highlight skin, exclusively top down and very sparingly, targeting key details like the top of the nose, the upper lip, etc., before unleashing the great unifier, Jorcish Dermis, to add back a little warmth and saturation. Starting in the shadowed areas, Chris will lightly mist a highly diluted mixture of this onto the surface, magically smoothing all the previous transitions together. Perfect. So, we have one more head to paint, but this one skin is made of dirty metal. So Chris is going to take a couple shades of baby poop and a gray and just wet blend the entire surface. The trick here is to move fast to get the underlying tones down, then come back and add accents and value adjustments. It's a simple but forbidden technique, and while Chris performs it in defiance of the Toledo Painters Guild, we shall honor his brave patrons. Bow your heads. You too could be counted amongst our legion of brave, gorgeous, well-informed genius warriors who've already pledged their undying support to our righteous cause, the complete and utter destruction of the Toledo Painters Guild. There's virtually zero other perks, but joining allows you to DM Chris and he might do weird crap like this for you. I assume I'm invited to the wedding now. Moving on, Chris is going to use this here filter to darken a few areas and pin wash all the recesses. This product is similar to Nuln Oil and can be used the same way. You can even blot it to soak up pooling, which will simultaneously create free texture and piss off bitch-ass Glenn. Fuck you, Glenn. You don't even need to be careful here. Just make sure your previous layers have had time to dry, or you'll be very, very sad. Now let's paint his optical sensor array. For this, Chris will first apply white for the brightest possible surface to apply the fluorescent orange. For the orange, just cover the white, then let it dry. Perfect. Now with a diluted Mephiston red, just flood the eyes. Then use your brush to wick away the excess so it only remains settled along the inner edges. Notice Chris wipes his brush off on his glove, making his brush so thirsty it just slurps the paint right out of the recessed eyeball sensor hole things. This is adequate. You could just stop here in a very Glenn-like fashion, or you could be a man,
Like me?
and dry brush some metallics onto the edges. And that's exactly what we're gonna do with our best friend Gunmetal. With a small dry brush, just hit a few areas that you imagine would be naturally worn.
Share the video.
And just like that, your ABC robot is done. Oh, look guys, it's time for a special announcement. Are you ready for another super duper awesome giveaway?
Give it to me, baby!
Oh, we're gonna. Upon reaching Chris's unreasonably aggressive goal of harvesting 10,000 subscribers, he will be giving away every model he has recently printed.
What?
Well, at least the ones that are capable of surviving shipping. And depending on how long it takes to reach this goal, well, the list could grow exponentially.
What the fuck?
So how do you win one of these adequately painted dolls? Well, nerds, I'm glad you asked. First, leave a comment and subscribe.
Leave a comment and subscribe.
Make sure your comment says, "Give it to me, baby."
Give it to me, baby.
Then, join the Shelf Candy Patreon. Some models will be exclusive to those members, and that's where you can find the complete contest details. Good luck, nerds.
Do it! Come on.
Now it's time for the part you've all been waiting for. We're going to paint this tiny single grenade with an unnecessary mixture of these two greens. He could have just picked one or the other, but Chris got all precious about it and wanted something right in the middle, so he mixed them 50-50. Now for the remaining accessories, we're going to dry brush the leather using this Bosch chestnut. And I think we're going to start with the Law's glow rod. Did you know? He's had this weapon since before he even graduated judge school.
At the Hall of Justice.
That's right, nerds. From way back when he was just a truck-driving drifter, arm wrestling to make a living. Once you're satisfied with the leatheriness of the various assorted pouches and such, you can move on to cleaning up the glow rod and prepping the rest of the details that will become
Gold.
with good old black. Chris is just going to give this a quick once-over to cover up all his dry brush, let's just call it mess. And when that's done, this peculiar zipper. And not to be pedantic, but has anyone ever seen a zipper that changes direction like that? I mean, I'm no zipper scientist, but I don't think that would work. Chris says it looks quote-unquote cool. So I guess to hell with 1,000 years of zipper science. Being cool is apparently all that matters. Oh great, this thing again. It appears he wasn't done with the base. I bet he thinks it wasn't cool enough yet. Hey, maybe you should put some zippers on it. Once again, harnessing the power of Uitra Shining Fluid Gold Foil, Chris will hand paint the remaining
Gold.
Did you know? Anyone from the future will tell you that justice is best served in a uniform bedazzled with an inordinate amount of golden rhinestones, for it is the birthstone of due process, signifying impartiality and fair treatment. And when coupled with legislative heraldry such as eagles, well, there leaves no question that your litigation is about to be conducted in the most professional manner in accordance with the laws and ordinances of whatever megacity you happen to be in. Once this gold is painted, let it dry overnight before applying the following.
Gold.
No, it's Tamiya panel liner. Despite its dogshit applicator, this is a mighty tool. Harnessing the power of physics, it floods magically into recesses, giving us added contrast and boosting details on these otherwise monolithic gold parts. The best part, you only have to buy it once. One bottle of this stuff should last for 70, maybe 80 years. It is time to awaken the shield of damnation, the unholy one. Silly putty. Forged in a realm of darkness, possessed of a ravenous hunger for pigment. Composed of an infernal material so profane that no earthly color can escape it. An impenetrable armor so potent that only the most heretical can wield its devastating power. And when wielded by such a being, there is no paint crafted by the hand of man that shall ever trespass beyond it. Thus is the foretelling of the great prophecy. Now, to ensure a perfect edge, Chris is first applying a dark red base layer. This will work its way into the edges, ensuring we don't have any hairlines of white to touch up later. Wow. With the white, simply give it a good dusting to lighten the surface, preparing it for the final red. Wow. With this, just get nice, fully opaque coverage. Then bear witness to the primordial might of silly putty. Perfect. It appears the Toledo Painters Guild were right to fear such dark power. All right, nerds, we're nearly done. With black, Chris is gonna paint this dumb visor. It's to hide his face, not for protection. And it has to dry before we can make it shiny. So in the meantime, we'll use some of this nerd doll makeup to give Rico's brother a 5 o'clock shadow. There. Now, who's the prettiest little boy at Judge School? Now, with a very diluted glaze of grimoire purple, Chris will apply a couple coats to the lips, stopping before it looks like lipstick. His visor looks about dry, so after this, we can move on to applying a couple coats of gloss varnish to his disguise. This helmet keeps people from asking for his autograph. They always mistake him for his cooler twin brother, Rico. Legend has it that he can throw a football over those mountains. Now, once again, uncorking this unpronounceable misspelled gold paint, Chris is going to paint the little shield thing on the helmet. Then, there's the matter of finishing the base. For that, he's just going to dry brush some gray over all the stone parts he previously painted black. And we could watch more of that boring crap. But let me ask you this. Do you like lots of money? Of course you do. Well, our friends over at Gaahleri are having a competition, the Gaahleri World Creator Cup. And it's for practitioners of our so-called craft. And nerds, there's a massive $30,000 prize pool. The last day to submit an entry is September 9th. But you only have till July 1st to register, so you better hurry.
Do it now, do it now, do it now.
One amongst you must prevent Glenn from winning. Sadly, Chris can't attend this year on account of his condition. Oh shit, I was supposed to be, well, Chris is wrapping up some details on Dredd's gun. This gun has a name, do you know it? That's right, it's the Eye of the Tiger. All right, guys, I think it's done. Behold. All right, I'm gonna go now. Subscribe. Fuckers!
What the hell is even that? Get everybody out of my yard!